All right, so we're going to dive into tactical arbitrage. If you guys have questions along the way, stop me. If you think there's a different way to do it or a better way to do it, please let me know because I'm always open to new and better ways of doing something. So let me share my screen. Okay, so that's my old gamer tag. Just don't worry about that. But one of the big things that I'll do. This is the dashboard after you've already signed in. This is what you'll see. I try to keep this pretty clean, so I go through and delete things after I'm done with them in terms of running a report. So product search, and I got the advanced turned on. I would really recommend basic as you're just starting out. As you learn tactical arbitrage more, you can go into the advanced functionality. So basically what you're doing, tactical arbitrage has a bunch of sites that they already monitor and they search, or they will search for you for deals in terms of where there is a listing on Amazon and they believe that they have found a similar product in store or in a store that you could possibly make money. And so there are filters to apply to it to where if you want margins of 30%, 40%, 50%, you can apply that filter. If you want to have at least 10 sales a month, you can apply that filter. And then you can also factor in coupons, cash back, gift cards, all of that. So one of my favorite ones to do is Target. So you just pick Target, go to Target. I need to move this over so I can see better. Okay. So what I used to do is I just go select all. And if you select all, it's going to bring in every subcategory through here. And that would be the longest search of your life to where you probably won't have much in terms of information. So my suggestion would be to go and just pick whatever category you're looking to do. And so one of my main categories is toys. And so I'll go pick toys. You can also drill down even further within toys. And you can search just action figures, just dolls and doll houses, electronics. There's another category for electronics. That is the category. Okay. So I just normally do toys. I don't get too specific. And then if you're just doing toys, it's going to highlight everything under that main category. Same thing for video games. Sometimes I'll do toys and video games, and I'll run a report. Sometimes I'll just do one for toys, one for video games. That way it doesn't take too long. It still will take a little while for scrubbing. And so let's say you're running with toys, and you've already selected everything, and you're going to click off, which I just did. Let's say for toys, it's buy two, get one free. It's that sales event we were talking about a minute ago. So you're just going to run and do a store-wide discount of 33.33%. If you're getting 1% cash back on Rakuten or something else, you put 1% there for cash back. If you have a gift card or if you have like a Target card, you're getting 5% off. You can do your 5% there. Let's see, and then you can add in your sales tax. So for me, it's 8.25%. You can factor in what you think it's going to be to prep an item and what it is to ship an item. A lot of times I'll just add $1 or $2 there because to me that's usually my units sitting in runs anywhere from 75 cents an item up to $1.25 is kind of a premium for me because I normally sit on a whole bunch of stuff and I normally send in at least 150, 200 units at a time. That's just what I do. You don't have to do what I do. And then you're basically going to go and do search. And so that one search is now active. And so you can go to the search manager. And so this is the queued search. You'll see where it's currently pending. And you'll have all the inputs that you put in there. And so what it's doing is it's scrubbing the Target website now to see if there's any listings on Amazon that are profitable. Things to keep in mind. I set my my filter. Let's see if I can get to a filter. I think I deleted all my completed searches. Oh, there's one. So let's see, view data. So there's nothing from BAM, which happens a lot for me because I probably have too high of filters. But If you go into advanced search and functionality, you'll see more. And you can also manage filters, but you can manage filters in basic as well. But for this, gross return on investment, 35%. That was my input for there. And then let's look at all I did for this one was that the 35%. A lot of times I'll add gross profit. I'll add something there. Number of sales a month, I'll do that sometimes, not much. And overall, that's about all I do. Anyone else that uses tactical arbitrage, is there any filters that you add that you want to share?
So some people might use the number of sellers on the filter. Reason being is you don't want it to be a really competitive space. I've seen that used. I've also seen it used to where you have a minimum of 3 in the search so that you're not, if the brand is on the listing, you can kind of avoid those situations. So I've kind of seen products that do that. So I usually add that into my searches so that I'm kind of eliminating some of the, bad leads. Now, you could be running on an item that might only have one seller in it. It isn't, the brand. But that's kind of the risk you can take. But you kind of you can filter those in and out as you please. So that's the benefit of that. So that's the plus side of the filters. So.
Yeah. And then I also suggest coming up with a sales rank. So basically anything above that sales rank won't get pulled or added in. And so this one I use 275 as an arbitrary rank that I picked. Because in the holiday time, ranks are going to go up quite a bit, especially for toys. So what was maybe 100,000 rank may go up to 70, 75, 80,000 rank. Some toys, especially with TikTok now, you have no idea what's going to take off. So something can go up to 100 or something as a rank overnight almost. So that's just to be mindful. You might modify this. You might go higher. You might go lower. And so that's my filters.
I know when you first set up a search, of course, in the advanced view, you can set those ranks based on percentage of each class. So that's what I usually run because that's what I usually run when I'm using Scoutify to when I'm outsourcing is a certain rank threshold in percentage. So.
And then you can run 7 of those at one time. So 7 of those being the product searches. Here we go. So now so there's one over here that's actively going. And you can go back to Target now if you want to do video games. So if it's buy 2, get 1 free, you can do the toys and the video games. The reason why, another reason why I suggest breaking it down into smaller categories, if it's like a really hot sale, like the buy 2, get 1 free, because you're not the only one looking at this. And Sunday nights, not too long ago, when Target did buy 2, get 1 free, I stayed up till 2 a.m. just to see what was on the listing. And not even within 20, 30 minutes, Target was already having issues of stock with a couple of the video games. So you're not the only one scrubbing Target. So the faster you can be to look at the data, the faster you will be to swoop in. Because I can't tell you how many times I used tactical arbitrage for Kohl's, and I go back and look when it's done or when it's halfway through, because you can check on progress and products while it's pulling, and a lot of times on Kohl's the item's already gone. So it's just how quick can you be basically. And
so the one thing that you might also want to talk about, sorry,
no, go ahead.
If you go into the advanced view, I know that they talk about cache. And when you're running a search, and the cache is basically the date and period of time that they captured that information off of Amazon. So they're actually, what Tactical Arbitrage is doing is they're grabbing all the information as everybody's running searches, and they take the last known price. And when you set the cache, you can do live only or 1 day. I usually set mine to 1 day. Especially on hot sales, because the day before the price probably hasn't tanked at the time the sale went on. So you can kind of speed up your searches a little bit to get those at least an estimate of when the price will start to recover again.
Mm-hmm.
So
for me, I set live only if the sale just went live.
Yes.
Otherwise, try to do at least like 3 or 6 hours, just because it'll take forever to do it if you don't do the cash on it.
Yeah, and Target too, they manipulate their prices sometimes with video games. So when they do their buy two get one free, you need to have the most current price on the video games. Because like what is it, that one Mario Nintendo Switch game, 1 week is $15, 1 week is $19, 1 week it's $59.99. So it just depends.
Yeah, for that sale specifically, I usually don't use tactical arbitrage for it. I normally go through it manually.
I do too.
But like the best way to do that sale is you on Target's website, you turn on the filter to combine the stuff that's on sale with the buy two, and those are usually going to be the ones you want to target, because you'll see like a $59 game that's now at like 49 or 39, and it combines with buy two get one, and a lot of times they forget that it's on sale. So or they, like, what happens a lot is they'll price match during the week of the sale and kind of forget that it's on sale. So like last year, like Madden was price matched a couple times, and you could get super cheap for buy two get one. So there's a lot of opportunities like that throughout the week. And also for that sale specifically, I know a lot of people do some sketchy stuff in store by doing price match along with it if they can convince it to check out. So I don't know much about that because I don't do much RA. So you guys will figure that stuff out, the sketchy stuff that you get to get the people to check out for you.
Yeah. So I've done that once or twice. I don't do much of the matching, quite honestly. I know other people will go from target to target price matching. What was the deal last year? I think it was GameStop had the game for $10 or something like that, and no, Target had the game for $10, buy two get one free, or $15, buy two get one free, and I think GameStop was giving like $10 credit for it or something like that. So it was something kind of like that, but it was a moneymaker all the way around. And eventually Target. What was that?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it was just a moneymaker all around. And Target called that pretty quickly and shut it down within like a day or so.
There was some crazy stuff last year, especially like Just Dance 2020, I think, had some like you get for like $9 at some point, and like do some, even online you could do that. Like there was just some crazy stuff you could do with their, like the way they did it.
That deal they had last year where you could buy two $24 games and get a $50 gift card, and they sent you a free game. I don't know. It was like they were giving me money hand over fist.
Yeah, there were some that were profitable. Like you would make money off of it. It was like the Ubisoft sale with like Ghost Recon, Assassin's Creed, Just Dance, and some of them you like made money on if you did it because it was so much up the way they set it up.
You could buy like two games for $18 a piece, and they hand you a $50 gift card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's some of the sketchy stuff you guys can do in the store.
So that's pretty much how I use, for the most part, tactical arbitrage. Like I said, you can run up to 7. You have to clear it out every now and then, just because it will overwhelm. It's kind of what they keep for you. And then they also have always be scanning. I have seen, because I'm in a couple of tactical arbitrage Facebook groups. I mean, you don't get much out of it, but I read comments. And I keep hearing people say they find gold in these things. I don't know that I've ever found anything gold in the always be scanning. So basically, that's just when tactical arbitrage is just nonstop looking for deals, and it's posting into your account. It's not supposed to post the same deal to everyone's account, but I'm sure there's bleed through with everyone. You guys ever had luck with always be scanning?
I've been too scared to even buy anything or invest anything big in there, just thinking that somebody else is seeing that deal.
Okay.
So I haven't done any tests on it to see if anything that on that list would tank in price or have an increase of just a stupid amount of sellers. So
yeah, and if it's something I'm not super familiar with or super familiar with the retailer, if I can't physically put my hands on it and make sure it's the right item and make sure it's going to match the listing, I'm not risking it.
I do the same thing. I won't buy a lot of stuff, even though it seems like, it's a good deal. So I don't really use tactical arbitrage to its full potential. Usually the way I use it personally is like when Target has their new sale, like a ton of toys on sale, I just put the sales page into here and just let it go. So that's mainly how I do it, is like just to quickly analyze a new sale that just popped up to see what's profitable in it. And it's really good for that. I personally don't use it usually like scan an entire website. I usually like to try to like use like in-stock monitors and stuff like that to find the like hot items. You can get to work pretty well sometimes like that. I was using it during Q4 a little bit last year to like identify video games that were going out of stock on Amazon and you can buy profitably from some retailers, but I really don't use tactical arbitrage to its full potential. I know there's some people who really are amazing with it, but I mainly just use it when there's a new sale coming up, and I usually just buy off of like Target and Walmart and the main sites. I don't buy off the smaller sites usually.
So for the most part, that's pretty much all you're going to use, in my opinion. That's all I use tactical arbitrage for. You might come up with some more. If you guys want to get into tactical bucket, we can. That's an add-on to tactical arbitrage. And so that's another subscription service. I think my plan is like $40 a month, which is limited searches, limited functionality to some degree. And it can get somewhat expensive. So this is the tactical arbitrage, tactical bucket viewpoint. And so you can go in. What I use it for probably the most, I'm just going to go over this, and then if Russell wants to go through some scenarios, I would appreciate that. But what I'll do is I go to top best seller Amazon. Let's see. And so then I'll go to USA. And then I'll come down to toys. And so then I'll go through, you can go through and pick different filters. So like today's editions, top 7 editions, just today's top 500 rank. And so I'll do that sometimes. Actually, that's probably what I do the most. I'm fighting with the video because it's taking over some of my screen. So I apologize if you see me like moving the mouse around quite a bit. And so then I generally only do about 2,500 or so ASINs. And then I'll do a range search. I'll run the report. And so basically all this does, I don't use Excel, so apologies there. I use Google. So then this is basically some of the top ASINs right now in toys. And so I'll copy the first. Tactical arbitrage, I think it says it does reverse searches for like 100 or so listings. It lies. You can go up to 250. I've learned that over a period of time. And so I'll take my 250 ASINs. I'll go back to tactical arbitrage. And then you can do reverse search. And you can drop your ASINs here. So you just do a control paste. You can apply some filters to this. I gotta move the screen thing again. Let's see, so like if you're getting 2% cash back if you have a credit card for 2% cash back, you can add that. And that's pretty much the only thing I would add there, unless you want to add something for the weight per item. And then you can run search. And so then it's going to scrub those 250 ASINs in a reverse search manner. So it's going to compare what is on Amazon, and it's going to try to find those listings at a retailer. And I've used it some. I've had some success. I still have issues with items being out of stock at that retailer. In my experience, I find a lot of Target deals where it's already sold out or out of stock. I find a lot of Kohl's deals that are out of stock. But it gives you some good ideas. You can also go through and like what's trending, what's new additions to the top ranks in tactical bucket. And so that's generally what I use it for. And so I'll do 250 ASINs at a time. I'll go ahead and run. I didn't mean to do that.
So to add to that, tactical arbitrage can actually do 25,000 in each scan on a reverse search. So in order to do that, you have to go to the advanced view, and under there, it's import bulk product codes. At that point, you'll load the CSV file that tactical arbitrage pumps out, which you can actually, if you did the top 100,000, it would actually put it into a zip folder of each $25,000 or 25,000 ASINs in each one. And then I just submit. I mean, it doesn't take the reverse search that long to actually go through 25,000. So I actually do the full 25,000 when I put that in. So that'll help you a little bit to kind of broaden your range, because I think reverse searches are a lot faster than the product search.
Yeah, no, it's tremendously fast because I can do the 250s. I didn't realize I could do this. So that's another learning curve for me. So I've been doing the 250 drop-in ASINs here, and I mean I think the reverse search is done within 10 minutes on the 250. So that's great. I'm going to start doing that more. Yep. So Russell, is there anything else you use for tactical arbitrage that you want, tactical bucket that you would like to share? Because I've only been using this for about a month, so I'm still learning it myself.
So I've had a little bit of experience of getting custom X paths made by Tactical Bucket. So with your $40 membership, I think you get maybe one or two that you could apply each month, that you could ask them, hey, I found this awesome website. So if you're manually searching and you found, hey, this website's awesome, but it's not on Tactical Arbitrage, they'll make an X path for you. You purchase it, you keep it forever. There's like a farm store in my area that I purchased because I do a lot of RA there. So I'd love to have a little bit of OA presence on there because I'm too lazy to get my butt out of this chair to go get anything. So they basically, that X path is in your Tactical Arbitrage is linked with your Tactical Bucket. So within that drop down that Keith was showing on the product search, my purchased X paths are there now. So that's very nice of that integration. The other thing that I've used it for, and I think a lot of people have heard about it, but stalking other people's storefronts. So if you know a store name that if you know is either another RA store or a big OA store, you could take their storefront and run all their ASINs in a reverse search. So you can find where they're getting their stuff online or even in store. So that's the benefit I see of, and that's all included in the $40 a month. I think you can do 6 reverse searches on a supplier a month. So it's very beneficial if you know store names. And really all I do is I look at competing listings. If I'm on an OA listing, I'll just look at the other sellers and then just run a report, kind of see what their volume is. If you know they have a ton of feedback, they're most likely a wholesaler. But if they only have a few thousand or under that, I'm definitely going to be running their storefront through that to kind of get a better idea of what they're selling. I always hate to mimic my competition, but a few extra $100 a month is okay with me. So.
All right. Does anyone have any questions on tactical arbitrage or tactical bucket? Want us to run through scenarios or explore anything for you?
So it can scrub for wholesale as well, like that?
You can go and upload. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, especially like you were saying, you get that huge list that like is ridiculous to go through. You can upload that and do a reverse on that in those instances.
It depends on your supplier. So depends on your supplier. If your supplier will give you, like, I have a supplier, they would send me a spreadsheet whenever I asked, and it would have, depends on how they code everything, because a lot of wholesalers have internal product codes. But some of them will put the UPCs or at the very least, Tactical Arbitrage can name search those same things. So I would get a list like, I don't know, once or twice a month, and I would run it every month with their new products. But if you have wholesale accounts already, I would reach out to your account rep and ask if you can get an Excel file of their product catalog. And Tactical Arbitrage can definitely run that. Even if you don't want to do any of the other stuff, if you have access to a couple of wholesale accounts and you can get those Excel files like in hand, do the trial of tactical arbitrage and just run them. I mean, at the very least, it costs you nothing. So
Yeah,
I know there's.
anticipate your. Sorry.
I know there's another program called Scans Unlimited that's a little cheaper than Tactical Arbitrage. I used them in the early phases of them. I don't know what their features are now. The problem I had was when I would run those reports, I couldn't filter out if Amazon was on the listing. With Tactical Arbitrage and their wholesale package, I'm able to filter out if Amazon's on a listing when I have my wholesalers spreadsheets. So that's what I found the benefit of Tactical Arbitrage. And I thought, I think Scans Unlimited was $40 a month. So I found the benefit of, well, I'm going to just do a lot more OA to compensate my software costs. So.
Yeah, and tactical arbitrage is not cheap either. I think mine was like right at $1,000 or so for the whole year. I think that's right.
If you pay monthly, I think it's $109 to get the tactical arbitrage plus wholesale.
yeah.
And then $40 a month to have tactical bucket. But I think tactical bucket is really what kind of sets you apart from your competition. Because if you have sites that you manually search that are just profitable, it just automates your sourcing process. So
the only other thing I'd say with tactical arbitrage is it's something I pay for as needed. Tactical arbitrage, you get the most out of it what you put into it. It's not going to do the work for you. It's not going to go in and run the searches for you. So don't just pay the $100 a month if you're not going to sit down once, twice a week and use it. So like as we get closer to Q4, I'll have it again. I'll make sure I have it. But if I've got something like where I'm doing a bunch of RA and I'm not going to be sitting around, like I know for this month, I'm not going to use that money in a way that's going to be beneficial to me. I'm not going to pay for it. So if you do pay the monthly plan, you can, I turn mine on and off. I don't keep it all the time, just as needed.
Also, if you're new, you don't need this. This is a pro thing. This is you'll get way more value out of like people in groups running it and kind of